want to point out to you guys that you guys are watching me clean these contacts with a Dremel wheel. All it is the wire wheel on a Dremel, little mini guy. Normally I'll do the underside of the Playfield, the contacts and all that first. I mean, what's the point of something look pretty if you got a bunch of work underneath it to do? Or maybe it won't work, I don't know. But I started on this end first. We'll get it going. But I'm using this wheel more or less on the Playfield. Not on the Playfield, don't take it out of context here. These switches for your slingshots and occasional targets on the side. Most of the time, to clean the contacts in between these blades, I'm just using a very fine, this is an old nail file my mom had from the 60s. I mean, this is almost butter smooth. There's just enough where I could feel it with my fingernail. You know, nothing super aggressive. I don't use emery board. You can use I'm having a brain fart. The stone. You can get them at pinball supply stores like Marco or Pinball Resource. A flex stone. That's what it is. I just don't use it much because it wears out fairly quick and it leaves a dust. Emery cloths will definitely, or emery boards will definitely leave the grit. This works. Normally you just pinch it together. I'll show you when I do the underside. Just pinch it and you're just trying to get a little bit of shine. You're cleaning dirt off. You're not straightening or filing points down, anything big. But I'm saying this because I'm using this wire wheel basically to put a little bit of shine back on the faces. I mean, yeah, I'm here, I'm cleaning the contacts, but I'm putting a little shine back on the faces of these switches. Just helps the light reflect better. It's just more of a professional look when it's all done. All your little metal posts, you can use it on the guide posts if you like. I am going to tell you, because I'm not taking responsibility for what you guys do, I am going to advise you wear safety glasses, and whenever you're in the work area that you're in, wear some shoes or slippers or something, because I used to be a big fan of using these things. Couple problems. These little steel hairs fly off of here. And when you get one stuck in your sock or goes in your foot, it's, oh God, you get that, it sucks. It's a little tiny piece, and if you got crap eyesight, it's tough to find until you touch it again, then that little shit hurts. Countless times I've done that. So you know what, I'm just gonna stop. Worse off is they snag, it could go in your eye, it sticks in your shirts, you know, stuff like that. These will fly off. Same deal like the wire wheel in the garage, you know. Practice basic shop safety. But you can polish a few things up with it. I like to use it for certain things. But if you're not careful, especially on a play field, you catch something, it can tear it up. Same with underneath. When you're trying to get inside relays and stuff, it's faster, sure, but I prefer just the good old-fashioned file. So that's just my little public service announcement. So thanks. Let's keep going. We'll get this cleaned up. All right, we are back working. Hopefully you've been following. We are working on this Williams TriZone. It's one of their first solid states. We've got a video of removing a frozen lockdown bar. This thing sat in a barn or in a basement for a long time. It smells like cats. It's just been sitting, not so much abused, but it's got a button, the left side button's missing. We stripped down the Playfield, ran the all the posts and everything through an ultrasonic cleaner. We're going to go ahead and clean this Playfield up. It is pretty dirty. It's not awful. There's not a whole lot of wear. I mean, there's typical by the inserts and everything else. But anyway, I got a couple videos out there of cleaning Playfield, so you know, go back and look through some other videos if you'd like to see more. But we're gonna do what we can with this. I just use rubbing alcohol. If you can, find like a 95% or whatever. People are going to tell you different things. This seems to work okay. I just take what I can get. But I really like to use this naphtha. It seems to get grease up a little better. It doesn't evaporate as fast, but alcohol or this works fine. Don't use a water-based cleaner. You don't want water getting in the little tiny pores of this, expanding and warping. How that just no Windex, no Lysol kitchen cleaner, crap like that. Just use this stuff. Work on sections at a time. I just use a cloth. You know, it's nothing fancy. You can use an old t-shirt. This happens to be a microfiber cloth that isn't the cleanest because I just grabbed it for cleaning other stuff. You can wipe this stuff down. If it's not coming up very well, we're going to kick it up a notch with, if you guys are into this stuff, maybe you do this stuff on a regular basis. You can use with Magic Eraser or the equivalent, which is very good at getting dirt off. You just got to be careful with it, so why not start with the easiest product first. The easier we can go on the playfield, the better. So we'll get this going, and maybe I'll post the whole thing, maybe I won't, maybe I'll just show it and then fast forward it, but from this point on, you'll get some music unless I got a couple points to make. I'll shut up and get started. I don't know how well you can see here. The camera's on tripod, but I'll try and zoom in. I have very good lighting where I'm at. I moved to a little corner of the basement. But there's a streak. This is where the little guide would be. Come on, Ryan. The plastic. Guide the ball. You can see where the ball's traveled right down here, but this dark line, naphtha, I always considered stronger, better than the alcohol, but I'm going to try, before we jump into Magic Eraser, let me try a little more. I'll just try regular alcohol, see if that works better. I could be wrong all this time, but it's getting at the basic stuff off, but I want to see better improvement, so let's keep going. Told you. That guy. Not quite blood. TriZone. Copyright 1979. Okay, so I knew I was right with one of those years. Williams Electronics. People, if you got a pinball in your house, your basement or something, you don't want it, give it to me, I'll take it, I'll figure something out with it. But if you're watching these videos, there's maybe a chance that you want to save it. So I hope my videos help. Or at least you have fun with them. Infinite sarcasm, I suppose. Just gotta finish cleaning this area. I know when I took the rubbers off, I took off 2 posts, but I missed there's 2 more. I don't remember if it was this guy and this one, those little tiny donut ones. This is something that if the ball's shooting in, boom, boom, you might have a chance. These are your killjoys right here. But if the ball hits just right, you might be able to save it. Real quick funny story I told on one of my other videos is the same guy that we grew up together, the same guy that owns this. He had a Gottlieb airport. I got one over there. But anyway, when I was about 14 or 15, he brought it home from his grandparents' farm. And it has the little 2-inch flippers. I thought it would make the game easier or more fun to take a frickin' drywall screw. I mean, granted there wasn't a light here. A drywall screw with a rubber band twisted around it repeatedly in the middle, kind of like as a last-ditch post saver. It looked awful. It didn't work, and all it did is put a damn hole in his playfield. So every time I do see him, I hear about it. Kids are stupid, and I was one of them. People that are fast forwarding through all this when I'm already fast forwarding myself, you're missing out on my awesome commentary. I'm just kidding. This is, for a lot of people, this part is like watching paint dry, but I'd rather try and show a step by step and you fast forward through what you want. I already know this part. Well, you're already boring like me, wanting to watch. This isn't necessarily pinball repair, this is pinball cleaning videos. Alright, real deal. This is the Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. Doesn't really matter if it's that one, if it's the dollar store for, 50 cents cheaper, whatever. But I like to cut this into little squares, because you don't need this giant block dragging around. Boom, boom, boom. What is the magic in Magic Eraser? It's actually called melamine foam. Melamine. It's squishy, very pliable. I don't know if camera shows a little bit of dust coming off of it. Probably from my calluses. But it's ultra fine sandpaper, essentially. But with that as the key word, sandpaper, you have to be careful. If you don't know anything about the stuff, cleans your bathtub, all that crap real good. But it's because it's taken away a part of it. So we're going to work on these sections here and see what we can do. Let's see. Okay, in the camera showing this little hoop here. There's actually, right here is a piece of Mylar, a clear foam over the paint. Mylar cleans off pretty easy. This is actual wood. This is the areas we're going to work on. We're going to see how well this works. It may not, so whatever. You'll get to see it. Truth be told. Little alcohol on here. Go easy. There we go. I'm not pushing real hard. I'm pushing a little bit. But you don't see veins and crap popping out of my arm. I'm just trying to put some light pressure. It's not going to bring it back to new, but it'll get a lot of this out of here. I don't know if you can see this real well, but the alcohol is getting kind of cloudy. That's from the foam and the crap coming out of the pores of the wood. It's not perfect, but at least where it's noticeable. Wipe it up with this. It's gonna leave, you'll see as it dries, it's gonna leave a chalky haze. That's already looking way better. It's gonna dull it, but that's why we're gonna wax it up. Let's see what it does to these little chunks. Wears them down. So after you use the magic eraser, you're gonna have to go over and wipe it up again with alcohol. Get all that dust off there. Kind of like if you've ever done tile at home, you got to keep wiping, get that grout dust off of there as it dries. You'll see it, but you'll know when it's out. Then you can start waxing. Okay, so that's looking a lot better. I don't know how well the camera will show. All I have is a little Sony camera. That's all I use right now. Some of my early videos have a handheld camera, and you'll know because the zoom sounds like an angry squirrel. But this is just a little Sony camera, no big production, obviously you can see. But look at that. That did a great job. That came out way better than I thought it was gonna. It's still a little bit, but you gotta really get in close to see it. Awesome. Alright, so that's work with the magic eraser. I'm gonna do some more. I'll show you the aftermath. Then before we wax it, I'm gonna clean out these lamp sockets. Let's see if I can get one. See, it's not awful, but why not get all that corrosion out? I got a hold of my buddy who said, hey, do you want regular incandescent or do you want LEDs? I'm not a huge fan of LEDs, but this is a solid state, and so I went and I ordered some today. So we're gonna see what happens. I'm using the warm white and the think it's called sunlight, which is kind of yellow, just a little bit brighter than incandescence, but not that pure frickin' surgical room white. So we'll clean these sockets out before we put all that in, before we wax it. So I'll go ahead and get these other areas cleaned up, and I'll show you what the next step is. Alright, we're back. And over these areas here, remember the real heavy ball swirls. Magic Eraser got most of them out. Not absolutely perfect, but we'll get that shine back. It's already starting to get a shine, at least, a reflection. But when we wax this thing up, it'll come out nice. He wants to keep it, which is good. You know, anytime we can save them and somebody's gonna enjoy them. See this cloud? And notice how I got distracted there. But anytime somebody's wanting to keep these, and this whole thing is a labor of love. I don't make a lot of money doing it. I have a full-time job in which I'm usually gone 12 to 14 hours a day, depending. But I like doing this stuff. I like working on them. And I especially like filming them, probably just as much as I like playing them. Because if I can help somebody out, or at least make them smile by, you know, because you guys are watching these videos, you know, I don't have to do this, don't have to film it. I just like doing it. So, yay me. Alright, so next step, we're going to go and do what we can and get these, just do a real quick clean of these lamp sockets and move on. We are cleaning and waxing this Williams TriZone. Remember, we went and we tried the naphtha. It wasn't working out real well. The standard alcohol, the isopropyl alcohol, seemed to work better on this application. When scrubbed it out, used some Magic Eraser, got a lot of the ball swirl marks out of there. It's looking a lot better. What else did we do? We went and wire wheeled these. Well, these are the slingshots here, the switches, and just basically used the wire wheel to clean the faces of these up a little bit, just so any light that hits them when you're playing reflects a little bit better, just makes it nicer. So now we're gonna wax. I like to use this stuff. Sorry for the lighting here. I got the McGuire's Carnauba wax. I'm told don't use one that has a cleaner in it. Just use the Carnauba wax, and God, am I addicted to the smell of this stuff. I like the smell. But if you've ever waxed your car, anything else, same deal. Put some on the pad, or you can put it on there if you want. But just gonna put a thin layer. I'm not gonna show you the whole process because it's kind of very similar to what we just did in cleaning it. Again, watch these things because they're freaking sharp. Also, some of these rollover switches, usually not on the return lanes, but on the ball, the actual drain side of it, the outer lanes, they don't have the arch to roll back. Try and roll back, and it's just poking the tip of this switch wire, so you can only go one way with it. Watch your fingers, they cut too. I'm running wax to hair, usually just like to go one direction. If on any of these videos, like I'm saying the McGuire's wax, you can use any turntable wax. I'm not sponsored by any companies. I'm just a guy that likes to do this stuff in his basement on the side. But it's just what I use. So I'm not paid to say that. Alright, we're gonna let that dry a couple minutes. We'll start buffing it off. Alright, wax is dried. This is just the first layer. I'm not going to record it all, but I'm going to put probably 3 coats. So after we wipe this off, I'm going to repeat the process, I don't know, probably another 2 times. Because this Playfield had quite a bit of planking here on the sides, so you're still going to see it, but the wax will at least fill those cracks in somewhat and let the ball roll a little bit nicer, slide around. Camera doesn't really show it because all I got is a couple lights overhead, but it's getting pretty shiny. Again, I don't want to sound like I'm repeating myself, but I'm going to repeat myself. Don't use one of those DA or buffers or the big 2-handed padded buffer. Don't use that. Just use your hand. You got more of a chance of burning through all this stuff. It's not going to help you. I mean, the spaces other than this section right here, it's too small to get it in the rest of the way anyway, so what's the difference? Rattling is this door on the back box. Kind of putting a little bit of pressure on this to get some elbow grease in there, and any other grease I can. Why not? But this is something nice to do on a lazy Sunday afternoon. Put some music on, have a drink. But I got the music off because I'm trying to film it for you guys. Sorry for all the rattling. Nice and shiny. Wax kind of covers up the cat smell. You can wax all these metal parts too if you want to. It's obviously not going to hurt it. Made for cars. I'll wax this pop bumper rings, the skirts. some light bulbs coming. I'm gonna do some experimenting. I'm more of an incandescent guy, but my buddy wanted LEDs. I've got a couple in some of my games just for some effect and to reduce heat, because they'll definitely reduce heat and power draw. But I'm kind of curious too. I haven't messed with them too much, especially on, you know, having that I have all older games. But you get to see all that too. Looking around, checking different angles here. See if I see any spots that I really missed. I mean, I'm gonna go over it again. Alright, so let's see if we can pick anything up with the camera here. And if you can see a difference with that reflection. The camera doesn't show it all that well, but there's definitely more of a glow to it than when we started. So I'm going to put a couple more coats on. I don't need to show you that, so just kind of take what I did and repeat that. Alright, we'll put a couple more coats on and we're going to keep moving forward. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I took off the metal part of the trough here. It's a ball guide that goes down to guide the ball under the end of the apron. Obviously the apron's off, but I took that off because it was looking kind of corroded. Cleaned it up just a little bit. I'll wax that up. It's not perfect, but it had some real heavy corrosion on it before. So this just sits down here. Again, trying to do this one hand. Sits down, kind of like that. It'll sit there. This part sits over here. Mess with pinballs at all. You got the apron that sits over here. It's just a piece of sheet metal essentially. The ball lands here, hits this switch. That lets the game know that hey, it's the end of the ball. You know, it takes whatever directions from there. Whether it gives you a bonus or hey, move on to the next ball. When the next ball kicks out, it's your solenoid that, boom, flings the ball. This is actually a ramp. Goes up, hits this peak, and then rolls down into your shooter lane. So when this goes up, sometimes I hear ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. This thing's got to keep hitting over and over. That's usually because this ramp needs to be kind of either flexed down a little bit or somebody jammed something on the apron and it's got to flex because there's only a little gap between it. And sometimes if this is hitting too hard, it'll hit too hard and ramp up into the underside of this apron and it'll keep dropping it back, So you gotta sometimes play with that. But I'm only saying that because I'm here in this video and it's really not the topic we're focused on, but just keep that in mind. So go. Let's go back and put the other coats of wax on. I'm going to vacuum out my lamp socket holes that I just brushed out. I'm going to put the 2 more coats of wax on that I just showed you, and maybe we can, well, we need to clean up the plastic some, but we need to do a couple things before we start putting this thing back together.